Hello YouTube, or rather my coworker. I'm gonna teach you how to be just a little bit over the edge. Not like edgy edge, but like over the average curve of players in Siege. Currently I'm plat 3, well I got demoted to gold 1 because I've been losing all my games, but that's not important. So we're gonna come up with 5 tips in order to help you get a little bit of a higher ranking. Or just, you know, if you want to be better, if you don't want to play ranked, that kind of thing. So first one we're going to start off is aim. Second one is droning. Third is game sense. Fourth is playstyle. And fifth is communication. So what are we going to do about aim? Well, if you want to aim, well, more precisely, you're going to have to go and remember where the head level is. For me, I kind of already know because I've been playing a lot of Terrace Hunt, and I opened up Terrace Hunt just now, and you'll see me just try and rush in. Might die, but you know, find the sensitivity that works best for you. On PC, you can go here to controls, and as you can see, mine is 11, 16, and 23, and also the DPI on your mouse might differ. So for me right now, I have it on 800. Some people have it on 400, a lot of pros have it, you know, low sensitivity, that kind of thing, just to control it. So yeah, might want to do that. Also for gadget deployment, you're going to want to add advanced. It's very helpful for bandit tricking, just in case, you know, bandit decides to place down his charge, and you're placing down your thermite charge, and you happen to know that he's placing it down, take it off right away and switch to the other wall, that kind of thing. But for aim, you also want to help yourself with recoil control. Right now it's kind of rusty, it's a little early in the morning. But you pretty much just want it to be a center forward as much as possible. On console, it's a little harder, just because you have a controller. When you're playing Terrace Hunt, try to go for all headshots. And if you have a mouse, try to use as much mouse pad as you can. Step number 2, droning. Droning is one of the most important parts of this game, as droning will help you get through many sites and let you watch your flank and do various other things. So what should you do when you're droning? Well, 45 seconds is the prep phase. If someone else has already spotted the objective with their drone, or you have a sense of where the objective is going to be, like you can clearly see by like outside walls, if they're reinforced, things like that. If you see that they do that, then you don't need to waste your drone. You should preferably save your second drone, solely because Ubisoft added the addition of having 2 drones out at one time. You used to only be able to have 1. Now it is very important that if you're going to drone for yourself, drone 1 or 2 rooms ahead. If you have a group and you're droning, make sure that you're following the drone, just to make sure that the room is actually clear, and you'll help your team push through sites quicker than you need. Number 3, game sense. Now game sense is very important because if you are left in a 1v3 situation such as this one, you'll know where the enemies are. So for me, I knew that Doc or Rook was in customs, and Ella and Mute were the last 2. I knew this from previous information, and sometimes they could also be spotted up on top. So here you can see that Ella moves around the staircase, I light her up, followed by that I see Mute and I kill him, and then Rook decides to push me. Now he's pushing me because I killed Mute, so maybe he thinks, oh, I have to reload, so I switch to my pistol and I kill him with that. Pistols will be viable in the next Operation White Noise update, but that isn't shown here because this is Blood Orchid. It's not that hard to think about game sense if you have your headphones on. If you have very little distraction and headphones on, you'll be able to get your game up in no time.
Thank you.
Number 4, play style. Play style is very important, solely because this really determines how you fit on your team and how everything goes. Most important here is the breachers. Breachers essentially open up reinforced walls, things like that. Now, breachers turn into fraggers once their utility is done. So what you want to do is open up the walls with thermite, or open up hatches, things like that with Hibana. Thermite is more viable for walls, while Hibana is more viable for hatches. One of the biggest problems is that people tend to just use characters or whatever for their own guns, or because they just like to use them. Now it's also important that you become versatile in the different playstyles. It will help your team in the long run. Let's say you're playing against a team on Chalet, and you want to help your team out. Now you see that they've picked an Ella, a Valk, a Rook, and a Mira. You're playing on the Snowmobile Garage. This is secure area or bomb. Now what might you want to do? You might pick Mute, you might pick Bandit. Those are two good operators that can deny breaching. Mute is good because it stops drones as well. Bandit is good because it also can stop drones, but you have to attach the Bandit charge to something else. The trade-off is MP7 is a great gun in comparison to the MP5K, and also he's a 3-speed. When you play this playstyle, you gotta make sure that you know what you're in for. And lastly, step number 5, communication. I think this is the more random aspect of the game, just because you might not be able to queue up with other players, and they might not have a mic, or they just might not communicate, or they might not let you have an operator, team kill, kind of that kind of thing. That happens more often at lower ranks. If you play plat and above, you know that people actually want to win the game. So those are my tips. I hope those are very somewhat helpful, and you should be able to skyrocket maybe to at least mid-range gold if you follow all these tips correctly. When queuing up with a team, I'm sure that you guys can carry each other, and you'll rise to diamond in no time. Try to play based on your own experience rather than with a team when beginning out, because you will find out what personal skill you need to work on, and then when you play with a team, you can see what skills you guys need to all work on, because just because one player is good does not necessarily mean the entire rest of the team will be good. Happy sieging.